Why is the Brazilian Grand Prix always good? Oh, Interlagos, a race I always look forward to on the calendar because, well, you've seen from the title, it always produces absolute bangers. We've had 2008, 2019 and of course 2012 in recent years, which are all seen as classics, 2012 perhaps being one of the greatest races of all time. But what is it about this Brazilian circuit that just seems to click with F1 racing? I just want to add, if the race is now really boring this weekend, I must apologise in advance for jinxing it. Please don't come for me. Let's start with the track itself. It's one of the shortest circuits on the calendar at only 4.3 kilometres long, but provides 43 metres of elevation change over the course of a lap and is a mixture of fast and slow corners. There's a great overtaking opportunity into turn 1 where the track slopes downwards into the Senna S's. The Schumi move on Raikkonen in his last race for Ferrari in 2006 is literally burned into my brain, one of my favourite overtakes of all time. Yes, I'm a fanboy. Not only this, but there's also a great opportunity for more overtaking on the next straight down towards turn 4 too. It's a lovely first sector, isn't it? Yeah, you can say the middle sector is usually single file, but that didn't stop Hamilton yeeting Albon out of a podium and causing all sorts of drama. The lap is so short, however, that boredom doesn't really have time to set in until the drivers are going round the final corner at Junção and it's back to a slipstream fest towards turn 1 again. With the track being short, it can also provide some pretty exciting qualifying sessions. One small mistake on your final lap in Q3 around a track that provided us with 1 minute 7 lap times in 2019 could see drivers tumble down the grid too. Especially with how this season is shaping up to be and how close Mercedes and Red Bull are, it could be very tasty indeed. I think the next thing that's worth mentioning is the weather. Of course, how could we not include this? It seems like more often than not, Brazil has some sort of changeable conditions over the course of a Grand Prix. If you're going to compare this track to any other on the calendar, it has to be Spa-Francorchamps. Both of them seem to have weather that can change in the blink of an eye and cause absolute chaos in the race, which we all love to see. As long as the race actually goes ahead, of course. I'm looking at you, 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. The 2012 edition is probably the greatest race I've ever watched. It literally had everything. A championship decider, the favourite, Sebastian Vettel, being hit round on the first lap, rain coming in during the race to continuously change the complexion of the title fight. It was just mwah! An absolute masterclass. I wish I could go back and watch it again for the very first time. This next point doesn't exactly affect the on-track action, but when you can hear the roars, it certainly adds an extra element when watching the race. I remember sitting there, little 16-year-old me who just finished his shift at our local shop that evening, watching the 2008 finale when Massa came across the line to potentially win the World Championship. Of course, he is Brazilian, so it turned up the whole atmosphere a notch, but having fans as passionate as that always helped the overall viewing experience. Similar to when a football team scores at home and the crowd erupts. It's simply more enjoyable to watch, unless you support the other team. There you have it, an insight into why the Brazilian Grand Prix always seems to deliver. Can you think of a circuit that has produced more iconic races than this one? Let us know in the comment section below.